Hi, and welcome back. Welcome to this installment of Frank and Mary here in Northborough. If you haven't seen the show before, my name is Art Bergeron. I'm an attorney. I do nothing but elder law. I work at Myrick O'Connell. And so there are 70 of us. There are 40 in Worcester and 20 in Westborough and 10 in Boston. I'm in Westborough. I live in Marlborough. So I'm here all the time. This show, though, is not about law. We do seminars, some at the library that talk more about elder law. This show is really about my friends Frank and Mary. If you've been to any of my presentations, you know I always talk about Frank and Mary and their kids, Peter, Paul, and Mary Jr., and their goal in life is to live in their house until they die and be buried in the backyard. And if they live in Northborough, that means here. They don't want to go to Southborough. They don't want to go to San Diego to live with their daughter. You know, they want to be here. So the question is, if you're like Frank and Mary, or Frank or Mary, who are the people you need to know and what are the programs you need to know about in order to stay here in Northborough and stay in your home and stay independent? Now, because I come from far away Marlborough, I don't know those people, so I needed to find a person, so I found someone who knows everybody. Actually, Kelly Burke told me to use this person. And here she is, Anita Hagspiel, knows everybody, right? And has been for years involved in the Friends, right? A long time. And so she finds these great people to bring on, and you found one again. And so you want to tell us who you have today.
I am very pleased to introduce Carolyn Harrington, who is our second chef in the bistro at the Northborough Senior Center. And Carolyn has been with us now for a year and a half. And the special thing that has happened with this, not only is she a wonderful cook and a wonderful assistant and just fantastic meals with Vicki Colleen. We actually were approached a year and a half ago, the Friends, to actually pay for her first year. Carolyn is working part-time, and we, with a unanimous vote, we said definitely the bistro has really gotten just very popular, and we definitely needed some assistance. And so we said, yes, we would do this. And what's fantastic is we were just informed this summer that now, because the proceeds have gone up, they're actually able to pay for Carolyn's salary with what they're making with the bistro meals. That is a thrill.
That's a thrill. This is like a big deal. And you know, we were talking earlier in the show, and I was telling Carolyn, you know, so I do a lot of this kind of stuff in a lot of different communities. And so you come to appreciate kind of the dynamics of a senior center and the economics of a senior center, right? And it's always hard because the senior center, the local budget is competing with who? The police, the fire, the schools. These are like major things that people had always assumed that communities did. So senior issues they're growing, but you know, it's taken a while to really do that. So the ideal senior center has this kind of friends group that really has this capacity to say to the senior center director who might want to do an expansion, yeah, we've got the money, we can front it, we can get something going, you know? So to have watched this grow, right? Now, I'm admitting, by the way, so I still haven't had a meal at the
then you have to come.
I know. So now it's like, right, so we were kind of talking, so we were just talking a little bit about before, because Carolyn, you're another local, right?
Yes.
So are you going to live here until you die too? Have you ever left? Have you ever left?
I left for a couple of years, and then I came right back.
And you came back.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And but your backstory, you said you didn't go to chef school. You're right.
No, I was a teacher.
You were a teacher.
Yes,
as were a jillion of your relatives before you.
Yeah, my whole family. I grew up in a family of educators, and then I left teaching, but I've always loved to cook and entertain, and so after I had children, then I decided to take some time off and be with them. Yeah. And I had a long commute where I was working before, and then when this job came up, my whole family said, this is perfect for you.
This is just right.
Because it's always been something I've really enjoyed. And then to have it be part of my community that I also am very active in and love my community, it was just a real win-win opportunity for me. I said it has everything I like about it.
That's great.
It's been a wonderful experience.
And you've been there a year and a half?
A year and a half, and I work with Vicki Colleen alongside of her.
Yeah.
And it's a part-time position. And we just, we hit it off right away. The Friends were so welcoming to me, And the senior center is it's just a really happy place. I love being part of it. Yeah.
I mean, that's another piece of it that you always already have that sense of. You know,
Yes.
there are senior centers and there are senior centers, right? There are some that you
Right.
go in, and even if, you know, it's got the nice, well, you always call it the chandelier effect, even if it's got the nice fancy, you can feel it when they're really, people really want to be there.
Oh yeah.
So how did you end up, how did you get interested in cooking though? Because you said now you were a teacher, you were an art teacher, right? You had
Yes,
said- yeah.
that's correct. Yep.
By the way, are you doing decoration there too?
So
now in
I
the
do. I
bistro?
mean,
You
know, I
do?
think a little of there is
Yeah.
a little overlap with art and cooking, and
Yeah.
you know, you do take pride in your presentation,
It is
and
presentation.
you know, want it to look nice, you want it to taste good, and you know, so I do think a bit of that carries over. I do love to entertain anyways,
Yeah.
and as does Vicky. And we just play off each other wonderfully, and you know, we think that, you know, our customers enjoy it. We have regulars that come every day, and on Tuesday nights we also have dinner on Tuesday nights.
So it just keeps
And,
it just keeps expanding.
It does. It's growing, and you know, I've heard the numbers are increasing, and you know, every year it keeps getting better and better, and so I couldn't be happier. Yeah.
So you said you have regulars. Do you literally have people that come every day?
Oh yes. Yep.
Really?
Yep.
So
And
it's
we know them by name, and you know, and we you know, we try to socialize with them. We know people's orders and what they like, and you know, it's a really nice thing. Yeah, I love to get to know the members of my community in this sort of social way.
And it's
as
really
well.
a social way.
Yeah.
And so that's interesting because I don't think I know of any senior center where the food is, it sounds like it's always open practically. What time do you start in the morning?
We start, Vicki and I start at 10 in the morning,
Yep,
and
yep.
we serve lunch every day at noon,
Yep.
noon to 1.
Yep.
We have, you know, a regular lunch menu, and we also offer special every day that's constantly changing, all homemade, you know, a variety of meals we'll have. We'll have like quesadillas and beef stews and, you know, chicken pies and all those sort of comfort foods, and well, that will be our specials. We have one special a day, and then a regular lunch menu. It's Monday through Thursday, and Tuesday night is our dinner, and we're closed on Friday.
That's like just a ton of time. So
Yeah.
now, have you brought any of your recipes in?
Oh yes,
Yes?
yes, absolutely.
So what did you bring in? That kind of from? No, first of all, so did you cook a lot when you were a little kid? Like where did you learn?
Yeah, from my mom.
Yeah.
I just loved to, you know, she'd always be cooking dinner and I'd be watching her. And, you know, and I've taken classes, and I just, you know, it's kind of a hobby of mine.
Right.
So, yeah.
Well, you're
so,
very talented with it too.
Well,
Right.
She makes excellent soups.
well,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Really
soup
do.
site, we try to make all our soups homemade every day. So that's kind of been one of my things that
Yes.
I've brought.
I was
You
gonna
know,
say, that's- you
I've
brought
brought
some
a
of those
lot of,
recipes
you know,
with you?
sausage soups and
Yes?
and Tuscan bean soup, and you know, chicken apple chili, things like that. So it's not all, you know, a lot of those seniors do like a lot of, you know, the tried and true, the minestrones and beef barley and things like that.
Yeah,
But we try
yeah.
to throw in some interesting, you know, recipes in now and then, and they seem to enjoy it.
So do you have like one soup that's available, or is it like
One a
is there
day.
oh, I see. I didn't know if there was like a traditional, and then there's like Carolyn special, you know, right? Yeah.
Well, I don't. Yeah, no. We do. You know, we do try to do one soup a day.
And is there kind of a standard time when Carolyn special shows up? You know, when the exciting, right?
Well, they've kind of come to know me as the one that makes the soup. So yes, so I do get a lot of feedback on that.
You know, so
And
that,
also
yeah.
her potato salad. I remember you made a
Yeah.
potato salad this summer that was fabulous.
Yeah, so I have brought a lot of my recipes in. I've made pies and quiches and, you know, things like that, desserts. We do special holiday meals too, and that's especially fun.
Will there be?
So-
Is there anything coming up? Is there?
Halloween, we have a
You have
little
Halloween,
special
yes.
Halloween dinner, and you know, a fun dessert, and everyone kind of likes the little fun extras that are done.
Yep. And
So,
is that a noontime thing? Fun thing? All 'cause I'm just,
That
for
would be a
people who are
Tuesday
watching.
evening. That would be Tuesday evening, not this Tuesday, but the next. I think it could be the 28th. I'm not
I
positive.
think it is.
Yeah.
I see. And that's not the regular night that you're open. This will be an extra.
Oh no, that would be the regular night.
That is the Tuesday.
Yeah,
I get it. I get it.
Yes.
So when they're figuring out, how do you figure out the menu? From day to day? Like, do you take requests? Like
Oh, we will, sure,
and
absolutely.
is it only from the regulars? Do you have to have kind of
Oh,
punch
no.
your ticket enough times and say, now listen, I really
No,
want
there
that
are-
potato soup again, right? No?
No, we do. Actually, today I received a couple requests today. As a matter of fact, we have a gentleman that loves fish chowder, and he's always asking for that. So yes, we will honor that request, and I'll try to get a hold of him and say, hey, we're having it on Thursday. But then there are other times that someone, people will request certain meals, and oh, that was so good. When are you having it again? And no, they don't have to be regulars.
They don't have to be regulars.
No.
And so you say you get there at 10. So when do you start? What are the serving times? Or is that more
We
limited?
serve, well, we get there at 10, and
Yeah.
right away I start making the soup.
Yeah.
And at 11 o'clock we have volunteers come in. We could not function without volunteers in the bistro. They're wonderful. Vicki and I simply couldn't do it all. Vicki and I prepare all the food, but the
'Cause you're in the back,
volunteers, we have the Serve Safe, certificate and all that. So we have to be very careful of that. Make sure everything's, up to code and order. We have volunteers. We teach them, and we couldn't run without them. They serve the meals. They help us clean. They'll help stock shelves, things like that. They're wonderful. Some volunteers are high school students, and then some of them are seniors.
Yeah.
We have a 94-year-old volunteer, and she helps serve the meals. But on Tuesday nights we'll have a lot of high school volunteers too. So all ages, and it's nice to get everybody involved and aware of the senior center in our community, especially the young kids.
So is this also a pitch for more volunteers? Could you use more, or are you
We
turning
always
them
can
away at
use
this
more.
point, right?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
We welcome anybody that would like to volunteer, and the high school kids do love to come, and they get their volunteer hours, but it also gets them to be part of the community and involved with the seniors. And they like seeing them too. They
They really
enjoy.
do.
They
The seniors love to see the
Yeah.
high school students
Yeah,
serving, and
yeah.
they get to know them.
And they get
Right.
to know them.
But to answer your question about how we decide the menu,
Yeah.
Vicki and I will work together each week. We sit down towards the end of the week and we discuss what we would like to do the following week. So and so did request this, or oh, this this is this produce is abundant right now and it's really nice, and let's come up with something to do with that. So and then we make the dinner menus. We plan those almost 2 months in advance because they have to go into the book that goes out for publication. So
The book that goes out for
senior
The Northborough Times.
the Times. I couldn't remember the name of it. Yeah, the Northborough Times that goes out each.
So they actually know. So you can actually go look and kind of know what you're going to be getting in advance,
Right.
like up to a month.
For
a month
Tuesday
in-
night dinners, but
The
not
dinners.
for the lunches during the week.
I get it.
Those are just week to week announced.
I get it.
Yes.
And the
It's
lunch.
also on the website too.
Yes.
We have it on the senior center website. I think if you go right through the town, and I think you can even connect through the Friends website to get to it, and it will list all of that.
The weekly lunch menu
Right.
will be on there too.
And so the lunch. Now that starts at 11. And what time do you serve until?
Well, the lunch we serve from 12 o'clock to 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
So it's only an hour of serving, but we'll have up to like 60 guests in a day. So we're very, very busy for that 1 hour that we
I was going
serve.
to say that's a lot. That's a lot. Now,
Yeah.
if I stop in at the senior center before or after that slot, are there things that I can buy there? Is there
Generally,
food?
no. Yeah,
Yeah.
we usually, again, because we work till 2,
Yeah.
so we have to shut down the kitchen and get it cleaned up and ready for the next day.
Right, because there's a lot of stuff to do.
Right, yeah.
Right.
So, just that 1 hour. Sometimes people will come in and ask for ice cream. We'll sell, ice cream sometimes, and we'll do that a little. We'll stretch the hours on that a little bit.
And how about the Tuesday evening? When does that run?
That starts at 5 o'clock
Yeah.
until when the people are finished eating, and they're usually done by 6:30 or
Yes.
so. Yeah, yeah.
So has this grown even while you've been there? Are things?
Definitely.
Can you just kind of
It's
talk?
my understanding that it has grown pretty well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can you just kind of talk about that and talk
Well,
about?
the first year that Carolyn was here was the test year that we paid for to see, if it could,
If it
with
could work.
hiring of her part-time, would be able to pay for itself,
Right,
and it surely
right.
did, because we are getting more and more people. More people from out of towns are coming to our bistro.
Really?
Yes.
Yes, yep. Yeah.
So it's amazing.
It's
In
nice.
fact, Henry, who's our treasurer, Henry
Yeah.
Scolanti, said that somebody had come from far away because they had heard about the Northborough Senior Center and the bistro.
So are you pitching with the Phantom Gourmet now? Is he going to be like, is this what's coming? Yes.
Well,
No,
you
he
know,
comes
not
here a
to-
lot because I know in my neighboring Marlborough, he goes to a lot of our places. You know, we could start pitching the senior centers also, right?
Sure.
That would
That
be
sounds
great.
wonderful. We love it.
That really.
It would be kind of
See,
a
now
fun
that you
thing.
mention this, I'll check on that because that would be a really interesting piece for them to be doing because they're here a lot.
Well,
right?
I-
And
not
this
to-
is just
not
a-
to
this is a
brag,
unique- this is a unique senior
But not to brag or anything.
Not to brag, but my soup is terrific, right? No, what?
No, but it's my understanding that we're one of the few senior centers that actually run a restaurant. There have been other senior center, from other towns that have come to see our kitchen and how we operate.
Right.
And, we do have other people come from other towns because their senior center does not
'Cause they don't
offer
do it.
a daily lunch like
So
we
were-
do.
Were you involved with the building of this place?
In a different way.
Oh, that's right, because you were
Remember-
one of the givers. You were
Well,
one of the-
yes, because
yeah.
I worked at National
'Cause
Grid
you're
on
at
energy
National Grid,
efficiency,
that's
so
right.
the efficiency of it, I did assist
You
with
did.
that.
So the reason I asked is I wondered if this was part of the vision, because it sounds like you've got the staff which you've been paying for, but it sounds like you've got the infrastructure also to do all of this stuff. It sounds like the kitchen is big enough that you can really kind of, and it's obviously a big feature the way the place is laid out. It's a big
Right.
feature of the senior
And
center.
our director's been wonderful because she really
She's
helps. I mean, we couldn't do it without her. She's helped us to expand and supported all these, ideas that we come up with
Yeah.
and to
Oh, she's
to
totally
make it.
committed to this.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah,
Kelly's
she's-
just so committed.
She's fabulous.
She's wonderful. Yeah.
And Jocelyn actually helps when you're short-staffed from
Right.
volunteers.
Yep.
She's in
Jocelyn.
there.
Yep. She helps
Really?
us at lunches and she'll help us serve and yeah, it's a really wonderful team that we have at the senior center.
And so I'll ask you both. So where do you think it goes from there? I mean, obviously you've had a lot of success, and to the extent that the goal of the senior center is to really be encouraging people to be there and meeting with each other and obviously this really works as a way. And incidentally, I know from my own household, we had the standard house with the kitchen, and there was and then there was the parlor, but nobody ever used the parlor, right? Everybody sat around and ate and talked, and I think for a lot of folks in our generation, that's a very appealing way to socialize, is when you've got food, right?
Right.
You have
Yes.
excellent food, you have a wonderful atmosphere, pleasant people that are serving you.
Yep.
I mean, it's a win-win-win situation for everything,
It
really.
is.
And a reasonable cost,
At a reasonable cost.
really
Yeah.
is.
So do you anticipate, well, I'm looking at you now because you guys have always provided the money to kind of do the growth.
Well, just to,
Yes.
not at the very beginning, for Carolyn we did.
Yeah.
But they were doing it just themselves at first, and then it kept getting larger and larger.
But-
And I think
and-
once they saw the proceeds coming in,
Then they
they
knew
were
it really-
able to then get Vic, they had a chef before Vicki.
Right.
And then Vicki's been probably there for
6,
many years.
7
yeah.
years now,
Yeah.
I think.
We're actually going to be celebrating our 10th anniversary in March, up
Right.
to 20.
So when we have all these special events, we do get involved in the bistro, and we
Yeah.
work with the friends or and we try to, have nice events that revolve around food.
Right.
Right.
Everyone loves that, and we just kind of all work together. We have Veterans Day
That
dinner
one's coming up,
up,
and that's a fabulous event.
and yeah.
And is that a
so-
lunch or a dinner?
It's a lunch.
That's a
yeah,
lunch.
Yeah, it's a nice big dinner served at lunchtime.
Yes.
Right?
That's right.
And historically, has that been a much bigger crowd?
Yeah,
Yes.
about 100. Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a big event.
And it's a whole honor guard that comes in. They have cadets that do a presentation, a performance really, and it gives you goosebumps. And they sing all the different military
Oh,
songs. So it's a fabulous
The
event.
service songs?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's wonderful. It's beautiful.
That's very exciting.
Yeah.
That's really exciting.
Yeah.
And from your perspective on the Friends, so is the continuing growth of this kind of where Cal, where the others are kind of prioritizing in terms of where you're focusing, or are there other things that are that you're anticipating happening in the near future?
I think, well, I should say that we're doing right now with the consultant strategic planning. I'm on a committee with Kelly and Adrian Cost in the Council on Aging, and various other people, several from the Friends. And we're looking at the strategic planning and,
so that's really
and rebranding. And, part of the thing is the success of the bistro and, how that is bringing in more people. But we want that awareness of what the senior center is. It really provides a lot of services, and that's something that we kicked off with Applefest. In fact, I should have my 25% sign on, because 25% of the population of Northborough is over 60 years old.
It's over 60?
So I think all of this is going to come together.
25%?
25% of the population is over 60.
And that's not about to shrink real soon.
No, in fact, in 5 years from now, it's going to be 35%. So it's really huge, and we're seeing all the things, all the facets of the senior center, the programs, the services. The bistro is huge with, all the people that come in. And it's really just a warm and welcoming and friendly place to be. It really is.
It's an amazing number. So I was just, earlier today, I was doing a presentation in Holliston, and someone there used kind of a related statistic that they talked about the number of people over 60 who are in the Commonwealth now, and it's this huge number. But like a third of them are also living alone, right? So the notion of having this expanding population, which of course includes an expanding population of people who are living alone, and they're seniors, means growing exactly what you're doing just becomes this crucial piece of the community.
Oh, it's very important. Yeah, we have people there every day that this is like, it's funny, just this morning, there was one of the seniors, I said to her, oh, this is your home away from home today. And she said, absolutely it is, and I love it here. And she said, I wouldn't want it any other way. We just discussed that. It was kind of funny, but it really is a home for a lot of people. So it's nice they can come and they can take their classes, and then either before or after their class, then they come and have lunch and they socialize with each other. And I've seen people get to know each other, joining other people at tables that they've, they mingle with one another, and then next they're eating lunch together.
Because you get that
it's
initial sense of
exactly, and you don't see that so much at a restaurant. But they actually, a single person will walk in and come over to, let's say, a table that we're sitting at. And they'll say, oh, can we sit with you, or can I sit with you? And come on, sit down and enjoy it. And they introduce themselves, and then they start a nice conversation.
And it makes me so happy because some personal background sometimes from some people, and someone's struggling or having maybe had a death in the family, and you can go out and reach out to them, and and kind of, if they're, get them encouraged to another group of people to join in with, and it just becomes kind of a happy family. And they're all really kind of very nice to each other and work together, and it's just a wonderful place. I love the seniors, and they're very nice people.
I never would have been able to tell that. You really like dealing with
I do. I really do. I've really gotten to know so many in just the short time I've been there. That's a nice thing. I don't think you get that in a lot of other places where you get to know all your people.
All of the people. And I want to be emphasizing for folks who are watching that, once again, if you're Frank and Mary and you're 70, it's like, I know you don't want to go to the senior center because they're all old people there. Well, get a life. You're 70, right? But you've got a lot to give, and as you say, these programs are driven by volunteers. I mean, it's fortunate that you have to have some paid staff, right? And it's great that you have paid staff who are, because they're more specialized, right? But the reach of the program is driven by volunteers. Frank and Mary at 70 need to be there and also need to be volunteering, And by the way, if you've done that, then you have this community of people when you are 80 or when you are 90, right? Who ideally are doing the same thing for you, right? And there's this sense that everybody's doing it together, but it seems like there's that sense of it, of the cooperation at the senior center.
Oh, there is, and I think too, I don't even like to say old people when you talk about the senior center. It's a,
No.
senior is, people think of that, but it's a very young, vibrant
Yes.
place,
Right.
and it's a large span of ages. So I don't think anybody should feel that it's a place for old people, because it's not. And it's there's all ages. We've got very active classes and exercise classes, and it's not people just sitting around and doing nothing and just hanging out. They're a very busy, vibrant community.
Well, I guess that
Yeah.
that kind of that's a real question. One of the questions is, there's a point at which there are so many people who are old, right? That the goal is really you have to start changing the what you think of when you
Right.
say the word, because the numbers that you just gave, right? When we were growing up, there were old people. There was a real easy stereotype of what an old person was. And by the way, at that point, if they were 65 or 70, right, they weren't real well.
Yeah.
Right? The reason why that Social Security, they were starting to send the checks at 65 is when they set up the program, that was the life expectancy of a male in that year was 65, right? So, that's really changed, right? So I
The
think we
baby
need
boomers really want to show that we are very
Yeah.
lively and active and doing things.
And I'm okay with this. I'm old. That's okay.
I don't think
but
of
I'm not.
myself
But
that
I'm
way.
not sick. And
Right.
I'm not dead. I'm an older person. And I live, but I've still got a lot that I want to do, right? But in those days when if you were old, you typically were not well, and you were kind of staying home with your relatives, right? That's just such a different world. Of course, it's the world that we, the baby boomers, grew up with.
Right.
But it's so different from now.
And we are
right?
different than that, I think. It's true.
Yeah.
We're much more interesting. Those old people, they were, gee, God, But now, we're really,
We look younger.
we're really interested. So thank you very much for this.
This is our pleasure.
See, this is what
Thank
she
you.
keeps doing, right? She keeps kind of finding these people, like, we're going to talk about what? And then we have these wonderful, and this is fascinating.
Anita's amazing.
You're amazing.
So,
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
This
Thank
is
you for
just
having
terrific.
me.
It's wonderful what you're doing. It continues to be wonderful how the Friends have been so actively participating in the vision of what it is, and already, as you're saying, they're looking forward to be looking at the next 10 years. That's pretty
Exactly.
amazing. So that's really wonderful. Thank you, thank you, thank you for watching, and we'll look forward to seeing you in the next installment of Frank and Mary here in Northborough.